Very good morning to you all, my dear students. Once again, we are back with a history class, and today we are going to have a discussion on Indus Valley Civilization, or even it is called as Harappan culture. So what makes it as a civilization? Last year you had studied about three different civilizations. One was Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian, and of course Chinese civilization. But my question is, what do you really mean and understand the concept as civilization? What is the true meaning of civilization? Civilization means how we live, not with what we live, it is like how we live. When we say civilized, it is of course how we behave in a society. And of course that is what we are going to deal in this topic. Now, in the last year's topics you had studied all the civilizations had its birth on the riverside. Exactly the same. This Harappan culture or the Indus Valley civilization also had its birth on a river, Indus. So in this way it is called as Indus Valley civilization, but the modern historians have gone a step ahead of calling it as Harappan culture. It is no more called as Indus Valley civilization, but it is called as Harappan culture. Now, how this civilization had come to existence? What is the date? Who discovered it? Let's examine all those things one after the other. The first European to discover this site, or the first person to come over with this existence of Indus Valley civilization, was Charles Mason. Charles Mason was a British explorer. He was in the army of East India Company. While he was deputed in India, though Pakistan was a part of India then, he was more towards taking voyages and journeys. While in one of his journey, he came across the borders of Pakistan region where some of the artifacts were discovered, which was related to the glorious civilization. But he wasn't aware that it belonged to one of the civilization, but rather he had believed that this artifact must have belonged to the Greeks. So in that way, he came to a conclusion that probably this was an area where the ruler of Macedonia by name Alexander might have defeated Porus in a battlefield. So in that way, from 1826, he had made extensive research and returns to his homeland. And in England, he starts writing a book which was called as The Narrative of Various Journey in Baluchistan, Afghanistan and Punjab in Pakistan. This was a book written by Charles Mason. I hope I'm clear with you. Going further, soon after his departure from India, one more officer had come down to India, and he was Alexander Burnes. He comes to India in 1834. Very much without a clue, he wandered through many places of Pakistan, Harappan sites, yet it was not fully discovered. He just walked over those regions and he could only identify one of the concepts called as citadel. And this citadel was on the river side of Ravi. So in the year 1834, he just came to a finding of this citadel. But nothing much was explored by this man, as he was totally not aware of archaeology. But the real beginning, or we could say that the spark of the beginning of this excavational Harappan site, that credit goes to a young man who came to India while he was just 18 or 19 years. He was Alexander Cunningham. He was a military engineer and he had great interest towards archaeology. He also had studied and he had also had come across with a glorified civilization, but he did not had an idea where exactly the civilization had existed. When the East India Company had sent him from England to India, he came to India and he went in search of these Harappan sites. As a matter of fact, 1853 he comes to India and he could not get anything from this site. 1850s was again a crucial point of time. You know why? It was during this period the British East India Company was laying railway tracks in almost major cities and towns of India as well as a modern Pakistan. So there what happened was, these people, Alexander Cunningham more precisely, when he returns from England, he saw that there was a mound. This raised up a question, and availability of some of the seals and burnt bricks. This further gave a wonderful question. An analysis was made on this factor. So in this way, Alexander Cunningham got few artifacts, but he was still not impressed. He had still not been impressed of the site where the civilization had existed. But with the available resources, he made further studies and research. So in this way, the Viceroy of India, then Viceroy of India, Lord Canning, sent him and started a well-organized, systematic body of association called as Archaeological Survey of India. This was created in the year 1861. Lord Canning was a British Viceroy in India who permitted to start Archaeological Survey in India. With this establishment of Archaeological Survey of India, Alexander Cunningham was made as a first surveyor. He becomes a first surveyor and he had taken up great measures and great efforts to excavate these Harappan sites. So in this way, this started out to function in a wonderful manner. But unfortunately, 1865 onwards, between 1865 to 1871, this ASI was suspended. Reason is very simple. It was suspended because the East India Company by then had been taken over by the Crown of England. So they wanted to make it as a separate branch, and unfortunately they could not fund this association or the survey. So in this way, it was suspended for quite some time. Once again, it was revived in the time of Alexander Cunningham by 1880s. By 1885, in the mid of 1880s, this Archaeological Survey of India, once again it was revived. But the same year, Alexander Cunningham retires from his services. So what happened was, once again another officer had taken up this survey or ASI directorship. So by then, the new Director General who took up the office of ASI, he could not function it in a smooth manner. Once again, there was a trouble for the ASI. Between 1885 to 1901, this archaeological survey in India was shut. All right, this was shut between 1885 to 1901. But once again, the Britishers, they were educated and they also had wonderful knowledge in archaeology. Under the leadership of Lord Curzon, Lord Curzon wanted to make this as a most effective organ in India, that was ASI. So in that way, he once again chose a new young man from England, Cambridge University. The task of exploring, excavation and everything was rested on the shoulders of a 26-year-old John Marshall. John Hubert Marshall became the youngest Director General of ASI in the year 1902. He was sent from England. Thus, John Marshall was an young man with a great zeal in archaeology, came up with a wonderful fire to explore the Harappan sites. With his great efforts, we could definitely say that within 2 decades, there was a wonderful light that was thrown into this lost glory. Well, 1904, an important date that has to be mentioned here, because that was a period where Archaeological Survey of India was re-established. But in your textbook, it is mentioned as established. Let's follow that itself, because from 1 mark question point of view, that's very much important. So 1904, Archaeological Survey of India was established. Permission was given by Lord Curzon. And then John Hubert Marshall, or precisely called as John Marshall, became the Director General. Along with his team, by the year 1920, they started with a great spirit of excavating the Harappan sites. And of course, what they found was an absolute glory, which spoke about a wonderful civilization that was built on the bricks, called as Indus Valley Civilization or Harappan culture. In the year 1921, the glorious exploration was started by Dr. R.B. Dayaram Sahini. Rao Bahadur Dayaram Sahini had discovered Harappan site. I have to say one more point here to emphasize on this Dayaram Sahini. He was the first Indian Director General of ASI. He discovered Harappan site. In the following year, 1922, Dr. R.D. Banerjee, Rakhal Das Banerjee, he took up the excavation at Ladkhan district of Sindh region. He discovered Mohenjo-daro. Harappa was discovered on the district of West Punjab, Pakistan, on the river side of Ravi, whereas Dr. R.D. Banerjee took up the excavation in Larkhan district of Sindh, discovers Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro means the mound of dead in Sindhi language, because this question is very much important from your exam point of view. 1 mark, 2 mark questions, it had been repeatedly asked over the period of time in the examinations. So please make a note on that. These 2 discoveries, these 2 excavations. See, one more thing I just want to make it clear. Civilization or this culture, Harappan culture, existed about 5,000 years ago, whereas it was buried and it was excavated in the century old. We are living in 2020, and this exploration was done just 100 years before. So we are very much privileged that we are living in an era where very recent 100 years of explorations had happened. So it's very easy to keep it in our mind. These 2 glorious explorations or the excavations which was done very well said that history was rewritten like never before, and it was placed on the world map. This excavation had placed India on the world map along with the Egyptian, Mesopotamian and Chinese. So in that way, the glorious efforts were being appreciated. And definitely the excavation of 1920s was even published in London Weekly. You know, that was a glorious newspaper of that era. London Weekly had emphasized on the excavations of uh, R.D. Dayaram Sahini, R.B. Dayaram Sahini and R.D. Banerjee. When this was published in the newspaper, it raised the eyebrows and created a wonderful sensation all over the world. The ancient archaeologists who really belonged to the Britain, they were quite it created a great sensation among their minds. It created a great inspiration. And of course, the old world archaeologists were startled for a while that how these Indians brought such a light into the lost civilization. So that was a wonderful appreciation of the gesture of those era. Not only that, this civilization after partition, if you note at the places, these Harappan sites fall in India as well as in Pakistan region. So far, it has been stated by historians that around 1022 Harappan sites were found. Among that, 406 sites are in today's Pakistan. After the partition, Pakistan was created, so majority of these 406 sites already are in Pakistan region, and remaining 616 sites are in India. Out of all these recognized sites, only 97 sites have been excavated. For your kind information, please make a note. Among 1022 of the Harappan sites, few sites are in Pakistan. That is, 406 sites are in Pakistan, 616 are found in India. Along with that, only 97 have been excavated. So, please mark it up. From your exam point of view, they have given 10 important sites which are very much important and place of discovery with the country and who excavated this. So, in the list as it suggests, number 1, Rupar, which is in Punjab. This was excavated by Y.D. Sharma, followed by Lothal, Cambay of Gujarat, and this was excavated by Dr. S.R. Rao. Third one, Kalibangan, which is excavated at Rajasthan, and archaeologist was B.K. Thapar. Dolavira, found in Kutch of Gujarat region, excavated by Dr. R.S. Bisht. Chanhu found in Sindh of Pakistan, excavated by N.G. Mazumdar. Alimgirpur in UP, excavated by Y.D. Sharma. Surkotada, found in Gujarat, excavated by J.P. Joshi. Rangpur, once again in Gujarat, excavated by N.G. Mazumdar. Kot Diji, found at Pakistan, excavated by F.A. Khan. And finally, in the important site, Banawali of Haryana, excavated by R.N. Bisht. So, these are some of the important sites related to the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan culture. Now, we have discussed about all these things. Let us now try to understand which were the area, what were the area of these Harappan culture. Of course, it was very huge, and some historians suggest that this would have existed over 6,80,000 to 8 lakh square kilometers. This was the area of Harappan site. 6,80,000 to 8 lakh square kilometers. So, such was a huge borders or huge sites of Harappa. Related to the antiquity of the civilization, archaeologists have given various dates related to this civilization. So, like that way, the list goes on like antiquity of the civilization, which you can mark it in the next line. So, suggestions had come over from various archaeologists. In that list, number 1, Sir John Marshall, he suggests this civilization probably would have existed between 3250 to 2750 BCE. For about 500 years, this civilization would have existed. This is one view. Second view is made by Ernest J. Mackay. Ernest or E.J. Mackay, another archaeologist. He gives a suggestion that this excavation, he did the excavation during 1927 to 28. He has assigned the date as 2800 to 2500 BCE. So that means the civilization might have existed for about 800 years. Third one, M.S. Watts. So during 1921 to 31, he explored and excavated the sites. He has suggested between 3500 to 2500 BCE, probably 1000 years. Another archaeologist, C.J. Gatz, he discovered the seals at Ur in Mesopotamia. This is very much important. Gatz had discovered some of the seals at Ur of Mesopotamia, and he suggested based on these excavations that it could have existed between 2350 to 1770 BCE. It means it was a short period. Finally, still the list goes on, suggestions still goes on, but I have just kept it as an important factor. Rafiq Mughal, he recognizes the two phases of early Harappa, and his suggestions were like 3500 to 3400 BC. So probably in between this period it would have started up. Another suggestion he provides is 3000 to 2900 BCE. So like this way he has given these suggestions of existence of Harappan culture. But if these were the important factors, there are furthermore things that has to be made a mention. Harappan culture had been classified into 3 phases. Number 1, it was called as early Harappan. Second one, mature Harappan. In this period, we could say that it was considered as the full-fledged urban phase was noted. And the third one is late Harappan. Unfortunately, during this late Harappan civilization or the culture, we could say that there were many cities that had declined. I hope I am clear with you. Harappan civilization had been classified into 3 phases, and this point is missing in your textbook. Please make a note on that. Harappan civilization was classified into 3 different phases, PHASES. Which are the 3 phases? Number 1, early Harappa, matured Harappa. Third one, late Harappan. Clear? Number 1, early Harappan. Second, mature Harappan. And the third one is late Harappan. So the matured Harappa is a one period where the full-fledged life and the glory and the urban life was stated. So that is the beauty about this phase. But the late phases had witnessed the downfall or the declining of this civilization, which we will discuss in the later stages. Let's not break our head on that. Regarding the dates, regarding the antiquity of this civilization or the culture, it was all based on the radiocarbon dating method, which is one of the important dating methods of archaeology. Based on that dating methods, these dates were provided by the archaeologist. I hope I am clear with you. And this was done in the year 1950s. These radiocarbon datings were done between the 1950s. Last but not the least, among the list of the people who might have existed in this civilization, who could be the people? There are a lot of different theories for the origin of the races, and different races have been suggested by different historians and the scholars. Number one, they belonged probably to the proto-australoid or proto-astroloid. This is one theory saying that they might have belonged to the proto-astroloid. Number two, no, they might have come from Mediterranean region. Number three, another view is that they might have belonged to the Mongoloid or Mongolians. This is another opinion. Number fourth view, they suggest no, they might have come from Alpine region, almost everything from European side except Mongolians. But all these theories are not accepted, but still the remains of the skeleton, the skeletal remains were found, and it looked very much different, and that is the reason why they have drawn their opinion. But the final part was like few more other group of historians suggest that they might not have come from all these regions, but naturally they would have belonged to the same region, and probably they would have belonged to the Dravidian race. This is the Aryan theory which had been going on for a while in the news and in all the social networking regarding the origin of Aryans and this Harappan culture. Based on that factor, it is believed that they might have related to the Dravidian race. So these are some of the races that had to be made a clear mention, because the question is there for 2 marks. There are a lot of questions that is related with 1, 2, 5 and 10 marks. So I hope I'm reaching you. Further, any doubts or any clarification, we can have more discussions in coming days. So another next important factor is the town planning. Very much important, because there had been a question in your exams very much repeatedly. So give importance for this, and essential features and the special features of this civilization, and in that part, first one is town planning. What makes it as a unique? What are the unique features of the Indus Valley civilization? If a question arises, number one would be the town planning. How the town planning had existed, what were the method that was implemented, you understand, and how the civilization had existed. All these details we'll have a discussion in the next class. We'll wind up the class here. Once again, let me remind you, stay home, stay safe, and sanitize your hands more frequently. I hope you follow this. Thank you.